welcome to Season 3 of 4x4 Adventure Club. In this week's episode we're heading out to Neerim. We're going to tackle one of the, I guess, well-known tracks out in this area called Fenceline Tk. So stick around and check out what we get up to. Well, we've all successfully conquered the first challenge, a little bog hole. The three of us going through the deep dip, and Kate going around the side, which is just as challenging. So yeah, let's keep moving along Fenceline Tk and see what we come up with next. Well, we've come across our second challenge for the day. There's a massive tree that's fallen over. There's a couple of little bypass tracks, but yeah, you come across a creek which looks very, very soft underneath, so we are half expecting to get stuck again, but yeah, let's see how we go. deep. Whew, what an awesome double line winch pull that was. Yeah, we're going to reassess which line we're going to take, so we'll catch you after the break.
G'day, I'm Darren from 4x4 Adventure Club. This is my 1988 Range Rover Classic. Some of the modifications to what I've done to it was I changed it over to fuel injection. Then I had a set of custom extractors made with a 3-inch free-flowing system. I had an automatic transmission built for me in the UK by Ashcroft, so I could take the horsepower. The diffs in the Rovers are pretty weak generally, so I've made some substantial changes to that. It's running a Hilux centre in a Rover housing in the rear with a custom axle and custom drive flanges. Up the front, it's got a 100 series high pinion diff. Both diffs are locked. It's got custom axles with Longfield CVs and custom drive flanges, so I don't have any problems when I want to put the lockers in and stick my foot on the noise. As regards the suspension, in the rear I've got a 2-inch lift, front and rear. I've got plus 4-inch shockers in the back with a 12-way adjustable Bosch shocks, dislocation cones. The front is pretty much standard except for a 2-inch lift. I'm also running a 2.5-inch body lift, which gives me plenty of articulation and it helps me fit. I've got 35-inch Cymex, they're 35 by 11.5 by 16s on 16 by 8 rims. It means I've got plenty of articulation and I don't bottom out. For bar work, I've got a custom front bar. It holds a Runva 9500Q, what's probably one of the fastest low mount winches out there. Being the Rangie's not too heavy, the 9500 pound does a fantastic job. Sitting atop of that, I've got a quad row steady light bar, what'll turn night and a day without a problem. Down the sides, custom made rock sliders. I had to get them made a little bit shorter to fit the 35s under it. And on the rear, I've got an ARB rear bar with a spare wheel carrier. Last couple of mods is there's a 3-inch custom stainless snorkel, so I don't have any problems hitting water crossings. I've also mounted a 54-inch curved light bar on the roof, so perfect for doing night runs. Between that and the light bar on the front, it'll turn night and a day. My future plans for the car, I'd like to build another motor for it. I'd like to build a 383 with an Eaton M120 blower and a 4-speed 4L80E transmission. You know, that should see me somewhere around 350 kilowatts and 700 Newton meters at the wheels, and with that I'll be pretty happy with it. It goes well now, but can't beat a blower. I live out in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, so for me Talangi's a 40-minute drive away. Love going out there, especially when it's wet. Also like doing Warburton, Ellis track. Bunyip is really good fun if it's wet. I like stuff that's nice and close by that I can get out and about. We did a Tassie trip a bit over a year ago. I'm planning on going back there again. It's got some amazing scenery and probably some of the best four-wheel driving I've seen in this country. Hope you've enjoyed my members rig section and hope to see you out on the tracks. Drive safe.
Hey guys, Adam here from ADM Motors and Nuts About 4 Drive. thank you for your support last season. I just want to welcome you to season 3. Today I'm going to talk to you about wiring up a aerial for a UHF, which all of us have to do at some point. Basically, when we have an aerial cable, we usually get cable and this little connection that we have here. We need to know how to wire that up and solder it in and everything from there so that we get a good connection, good signal. The little wire that we have is called a coaxial. It's hard to see from there, but in the coaxial cable I've cut the other end from you. It's actually 2 wires in one. So what you've got is an outer wire and then inside a sheath, and then it's actually got an inner wire in there as well. So that needs to be then wired into this connection. You can see here that this connection comes in 2 pieces. This is the piece that screws into the back of the actual UHF. It needs to go onto the cable, but you need to put it on the cable before you solder this other connection, otherwise you won't get it in position afterwards. And of course the other end has the old aerial base on it, and it's on the other side of the car. So that needs to go on in the right direction first. From here, then you need to put this this actual connection on. Now, what I do is I usually just grab a pair of cutters like this, and I just cut just very, very gently. I'm not cutting, I'm just using it to splice or cut into the outer section. Once I've done that, you can actually pull that outer section off and expose the inner part of the cable from here. If you just pull that up, you'll see that then you expose the inner part. If you want to, you can try and get a rough sort of length, but length doesn't matter too much, because once you've actually assembled the whole thing, you've got the opportunity then to sort of cut it down the size if you need to afterwards. But again, just very, very gentle, because you don't want to cut through the whole cable, and you just sort of open that end up so that you can pull the inner part of the cable off from there. Okay, give it a bit of a twist just so that it doesn't come apart, right? And then what you can do is you'll notice on the end of the other end there, it's actually threaded. So what you actually do is you push down or bunch down the cable in the bottom, put this actually on and through that section, and if you then just screw this the aerial part into the outer one, it'll actually screw up and lock itself in position in the top. Once that's done, then you need to secure this other part to it, which is the use of a soldering iron, which I've already got sort of heated up here. You stab a bit of solder onto the end, and you can then just heat up, warm up and solder this into position. Alright, so that'll go on there. If you've got a little bit of excess solder, don't worry too much, you can just clean it up with a bit of heat. And as I was saying before, it's a bit too long now, which is not a problem. Cut the end off from there. So if you need to, you might need to just rub that up with some sandpaper just to get any excess solder off. And you can grab the outer part here and screw it on there, and then that is now ready to put into the UHF and actually screw it home into position. Again, one quick tip is that what I would suggest is always put your aerial connection into the UHF first before you actually connect up power, because what I find is that it actually helps to ground the unit. It can actually damage it by powering it up without the UHF aerial connection in there. So always connect that up first and have the aerial mounted. Do that first. Apart from that, I really hope this helps. Thanks again for your support. If you get a chance, check us out on our online store at nutsabout4drive.com.au. Also give us a like on our Facebook site if you can. Stay on all fours and go nuts.
back there. Well done.
Right.
Nah, we'll win, Chuck. Left hand down. That's it. Good work. Well, what an awesome track so far. A bit of a two ways to go. I thought the way I went was the better line. I knew it was going to be soft, but pretty much got in and sank straight down. Massive winch pull out, end up double lining it. In the end, the other way was probably the better line, but still needed to winch. But yeah, let's keep moving, see what the next challenge brings us. Moving along in the second half of Fenceline track, and it's very tight and squishy. If you like your paint work, probably don't suggest you come down this track, but yeah, it's been a doozy, so let's see what the second half brings us. Well, what an awesome morning we've had so far. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today's episode out at Fenceline Track, but stay tuned for next week's episode, part 2 of Fenceline. Hopefully we'll make it to the end. If you have liked what you've seen so far, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook. I'm JB, and we'll catch you next week on 4x4 Adventure Club.